Dear white sisters and brothers, committed to discover the truth, consider this a public service announcement, curated, cultivated, and created just for you. If you're willing to be inconvenienced with the facts, be disrupted by the visual acts, and uncomfortable with where America is still at, face your own limiting beliefs, have hard conversations that pull the veil back, and acknowledge that world justice for all has never been intact. If you're willing, great. But beware, this journey may be painful, filled with some hurt and even a bit of shame. Watch out. You might even be tempted to play the blame game, because it's easier to stay ignorant, divided, angry, and apart. But what if we confronted the truth within our hearts? Courageous cultural conversations. Wow, that's a new art. There's a way that we can connect, but we have to use our words. Allow our hearts to speak, but know that this might hurt. The solution's right here. I know that to be so. You are. I am. We're here. Let's grow.
Black lives matter. That's all chit chatter. Y'all just want to fight. The real truth is, all lives matter. And I won't apologize for being white. I mean, black lives don't even matter to you, or else you'd stop killing them yourself. Most blacks are killed by blacks. Y'all don't even need the cops to help. And you say it's systemic. Yeah, they were treated bad, but that was what, 400 some years ago. I didn't kill anybody. But you think my white skin still makes me guilty though. I'm sick of you calling me racist. I don't even see color, we're all the same. You're the only racist here, always looking for a skin tone to blame. More white people are killed by police each year. Check the stats, man, I'm speaking facts. But we don't riot, kill cops, burn down buildings, or any other of these animal acts.
Yeah, all lives matter. Yeah, they do. But for all lives to matter, that has to include me and you, because if black lives don't matter, all lives can't matter, dude. And your stats are BS, but I'll get to that a little bit later too. Look, see, white folks have been running things since before colonization. Let's think Michelangelo. Because in 1477, there was only white people painted on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. And the world has been pushed to worship white since before the Renaissance, because the only way that Jesus was white was if he had 120 SPF on. Because you're happy to watch Denzel and glorify LeBron James, and you'd love to get a selfie with Morgan Freeman because he's got fame. But what if it were me? Pulled over, beaten and kicked, dragged to the ground, pepper sprayed at nightstick. What if it were me? Might as well be the whip, 17 rounds and a Glock clip. I shouldn't be terrified for my life, because I'm not recognizable like Will Smith.
When I say Black Lives Matter, I'm not saying that brown and white lives don't. I'm a mother. If my son gets pulled over, I just want him to be just as safe as your son. That's all I want. Your life matters. Yes, it does. But did you really need to hear me say it? Honestly, I didn't have to. Because our different neighborhoods, educational system, justice system, and all of history has shown you that this is true. This is not a competition of whose life matters the most. This is a call for you, my sister, my brother, to stand up for all lives, but stand up close. Enough of the shrinking thinking like modern day racism isn't real, and evict the stinking thinking that anger is all I feel, and challenge the sinking thinking that this will all be over soon. It's no big deal.
America is the land of opportunity. You have every chance to succeed. There's black colleges. Man, you had a black president. What more do you really need? And what do you want, a handout? Trump already set a record for your unemployment rate. How about you be grateful and say thank you, instead of creating all the racial hate?
Being white in America is a fast track to excellence. Having a white name on a resume is a 50% increase in job acceptance.
And there it is, white privilege. The black man's sorry excuse. Give me a break, man, there's no such thing. I worked my ass off to get in these shoes, but you don't see me demanding reparations for all the shit that I went through. My success is because of the content of my character, not the color of my skin. Once you stop making excuses, boy, maybe you just don't
Who do you think
win.
you call a boy? To be black in America means trapped into a system of lower education. Impoverished ghetto communities that date all the way back to the enslaved nation. You see, Negroes were considered dangerous and untrustworthy according to white elite generations. And the police force was originally created to control free Negro slaves, keep them boys in place, show them animals how to behave.
You're always talking about how you're so oppressed. You wouldn't be killed by cops if you learned how to stop resisting arrest.
Studies show that black men have a 250% higher chance of being killed by cops than men that are white, and a 1 in 1,000 chance of being killed by police in their life. 65% of Caucasians graduate college, while only 40% of African Americans acquire higher knowledge. 75% of movie stars are Caucasian, while only 13% are African American. So for over 100 years, Hollywood has been showing the world what it means to be American. You don't believe me? You don't trust me? You don't need my eyes to see. Open up your eyes. Read.
This is the anguish and anger of my ancestors. Their exhaustion runs through my veins. I'm tired for my great-grandmother's journey. I'm angry for my granddaddy's pain. This anger isn't new. I've hid it from you for years.
Oh, I smile when you pass to accommodate what you can handle.
But at night, I cry their tears. And under the anger is the pain of constant rejection waiting to be healed. And under the pain is the fear for our children waiting to be stilled. And under the fear lives the hope waiting to be restored. And then there's the soul of ours and our ancestors refusing to be ignored. You inherit access, accomplishments, wealth, and peace of mind running through your veins, while we inherited trauma, shame, your Bible, and someone else's name. And then we had to discover faith and prayer just to navigate through the generational unresolved pain. There's layers to this volcano. So don't just see the lava and run.
We're having never before conversations. Beautiful healing has already begun.
I know white privilege might be disruptive at your core, because the truth that you held dear, all men are created equal, just can't be your truth anymore. We're your brown sisters and brothers. And now you've got just a glimpse of the polar despair. So if it feels a little uncomfortable right now, let's just say it's because you just got crystal clear.
I know that we can connect, but we have to use our words.
Allow our hearts to speak, but know that this might hurt. The solution is right here. I know that to be so. You are, I am. We're here. Let's grow.
African slaves were insured and mortgaged as property. The most valuable were bought and sold for $1,300. Black people were unable to legally use white bathrooms, drinking fountains, and restaurants until 1954. Interracial marriage was illegal until 1967. Black people were arrested for falling in love with white people. A study revealed that half of white medical trainees believe black people feel less pain than white people. In 2016, there's been over 4,000 black lynchings where they were burned alive, skinned, dismembered, or hung from trees, often left for days for their children, sisters, and wives to see. And these killings were public displays attended by thousands. And while they were still alive, victims frequently had their ears, fingers, and genitals cut off. The body parts became souvenirs displayed on keychains and mantles. The majority of African Americans are their descendants.
This isn't just about George Floyd. It's a global movement, right? Because every first world colonialized nation has an infrastructure of white might. But to the point that even I'm programmed to believe that dark-skinned black men are scary at night. And I can't be a movie star unless my skin is stark white, and I can't trust a man's intellect if his skin is dark as night. Look me in my face and tell me how this is all right. Does the pain in my eyes tell you that I'm not being truthful? That I'm tired of being treated as less than and never gotten a real spoonful? That it hurts to be treated as less than a human being, and I know it's not your fault. You're just like me. Another programmed human being. So I ask you to look beyond what you've been seeing. Because sometimes to grow and heal, we have to look deeper. We have to look deeper to find the real meaning.
I've never walked an honest mile inside your shoes, and I'll never truly comprehend the trauma you've been through. And I've never been on the outside of equality looking in, and I've never had to overcome the color of my skin. And my race has never made me question whether I belong. So it's time for me to stand up and help to right the wrongs. Because the stories I've been sold have kept your truth a mystery. With all that I know now, I'll choose to be on the right side of history. As long as it's me versus you, we'll never heal this racial friction. I got no clue what it'll look like. But brother, I'm ready and willing to listen.
I know your frustration. That's something that we share. Feel it, own it, but don't take out real estate there. Let's move from anguish to action and never let our movement cease. For our children, we're sculpting a future masterpiece. I see your heart, and now you get to live with an entirely new intent. Will you sign up for the long haul, brother? Because this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Muster up your moral courage. Allow this new truth to be shown. You might have to risk some comfort, but you won't have to do it alone. There's a way that we can connect, but we have to use our words.
Allow our hearts to speak.
And know that this might hurt.
The solutions are right here. I know that to be so.
You are.
I am.
We're here. Let's grow.
Thank you for joining us in this courageous cultural conversation. If this stirred your soul, piqued an interest, or validate what you knew to be possible, I'd like to invite you to subscribe or leave your information, sign up for more courageous cultural conversations coming up in the future, or for the opportunity for us to come and speak and have these conversations with your organization, or for you to learn how to facilitate these amazing, overdue conversations yourself. No matter what you choose, remember that I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And when I say that I believe in you and I love you, it's because I do. Let's grow.